because nobody likes her. Grab some tea because I'm about to spill the tea on all of the books that I've been reading this month. I'm so excited about this. This is a new series, Reading Recap. If I had cool graphics, I would insert that right here. But seriously, grab a cup of tea, settle in. My tea's really hot right now, and I am gonna go through all of the books that I have read this month. So, spoiler alert, if you have not read these, I'm giving away all the spoils. So fair warning, you have been warned. I love reading. I recently started going to the library again. It's the best thing ever. Use your resources, friends. And yeah, so I just thought it would be really fun to do a reading recap, all the books I've read this month. So this is a new series, and just settle in because here we go. The first one was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I have not seen the movie. I do like John Green. Looking for Alaska is fantastic. I have that book. It's the only book I have by him. I think I read some others, but that's beyond the point. The Fault in Our Stars. So she's got cancer. He doesn't have cancer. And then just when you think that she's gonna be dying, he is dying. Lit up, cancer all over the place. I really didn't see it coming. This book was really good. It was a page turner for sure. I definitely liked it. I would totally recommend it. Didn't really tell you what it's about, but that's okay. It was really good though. I enjoyed it. It kept me interested, which sometimes like it's a struggle for me if I get really bored and I'm just like, whatever about reading it. It was funny. It was sad. Like it was just really good. I don't have the best words to say about this one. Not because it wasn't good, but just because it's been a month. And it was just good. It was sweet, but sad. The only thing I didn't really like is what was the girl's name? Hazel. I want to know what happened to Hazel. I'm like, does Hazel make it? Does Hazel not make it? Like, I was confused about what was going on with that, but I did think it was really good. I would recommend it. The end. Okay. This one we're gonna get into. I almost feel like I should film this right after I finish reading it because I can't tell you how hyped I was about this. And not what you're thinking with. This is still too hot. Should have made this like 10 minutes ago. Okay, so this is Don't Say a Word by Amber Lynn Natusch. No, I never said I would pronounce anyone's name correctly, so I do apologize. And I did not realize when I picked this up, I kind of just wander the library aimlessly. I do go towards the YA, young adult, teen section, just what I gravitate towards. But yeah, so I wander the library aimlessly. And this was on the new release shelf. I just happened to pick it up, and about a quarter way through, I was like, I feel like I'm missing something here. Something seems a little funny, a little off. You know what I'm saying? And I think I saw another book with like a similar title, but my dumb self, yeah, I feel like I saw Dare You to Lie, but my dumb self was like, oh, I don't see the same character names. They're not related. Yeah, I'm stupid. They're related. This is the second book. I just started the series on the second one. Oops. That being said, I was able to Google it, and Google Pages helped me out and caught me up on what was going on. And now, I'm just gonna tell you the elephant in the room. What's her name? Kylene. I don't know how to say it. She is not relatable. Like, hello, not relatable. Ma'am, you are a bitch. Excuse my language. I don't really like that word, but she just got to me. She's supposed to be a high schooler, a teenage girl, but she's like gorgeous and not popular because nobody likes her, and she's just like X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, ma'am, what does that go to? Ma'am, really? No. Like, all of her personality, everything about her is just not relatable. Well, not relatable, not possible, in my opinion. If you are a teenager out there who's just like her, please let me know. And some FBI, like 20-something-year-old agent who's supposed to like Little Miss 17, maybe 18. I don't think so. That was my biggest problem with this book, because I was just like, a lot of stuff that she did, I was like, this is stupid. And she like worked undercover with the FBI agent, and she like, I guess in the last book, she did a drug bust all by herself. And then this book, she took down a prostitution ring, and I get where we're going, but we need to bring it back down to reality. That being said, I finished this in like 3 days. Yeah, couldn't put it down, so I will give her that. I don't know if it was like, it wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad. But it was almost like an anger read. Like, I read this out of anger. You know what I mean? Like, when you're like, this is making me mad, but I'm going to keep reading it because I want to know what happens. It was that type of thing. And I will shamefully admit that when the third one comes out, I will read it, as long as I can remember, and if I happen to see it. I'm not going to go actively searching, but I'm curious. You've piqued my interest. I want to know what happens next. Because, where did we leave off? She's got the FBI boyfriend, or guy, liking her. They've insinuated that they're going to be partners, but she's also got her other boyfriend madly in love with her, and she's in love with him, and it's a mess. You know, the whole best friends thing. Her dad's in jail. Oh, that's what it is. There's some guy, yeah, I should probably do this after I've read the book, but that's okay. Some guy running all of this, and who's put her dad in, like, framed her dad or whatever, and so she's gonna go find him, take him down all by herself. Anyways, if you are into mysteries and you don't mind the fact that this girl is a total biatch, I just think she is, and that she's not relatable at all, it really is a pretty good read. It kind of keeps you wondering. It's a page turner. Try it out. I read just about anything. I'm not super picky, so in case you haven't figured it out. Teach Me to Forget by Erica M. Chapman. One moment, please. I need a little refresher. Okay, so I remember now. This one I read after the Now You See Me. No, Don't Say a Word. I read this one after Don't Say a Word. And like I said, Don't Say a Word, like, I kind of just couldn't put it down. I really couldn't, if I'm being honest. This one, I could put it down. Like, I wasn't like picking it up every free second that I had to read it. So it's about this girl, Ellery. And she basically tries to kill herself, and it doesn't work. Blah, blah, blah. Meets Mr. Popular. Right? Like, here we go again. Meets Mr. Popular, who wants to save her. You've got, like, the family dynamic with really just the girl, I think. Her little sister is dead, and that's, like, why she wants to kill herself. Because of something that happened, which you're not going to find out to the end. Her little sister was in the car. She got into a car accident. Didn't know the sister was in the car. Spoiler, like, a few minutes ago. And her little sister died, and she didn't die, so she feels like she should also be dead. They kind of tied in pretty well, because Mr. Popularity, his brother killed himself. So he, like, sees the signs in her, which I like that they threw in that aspect versus just, like, unpopular girl, popular guy, you know, that typical thing. Tea's good now. She did a good job of pulling them in together and meshing it, and I feel like she did a good job with, instead of it just being like, oh, you fixed me, like, the pulling away, and do you know what I mean? Ellery wanting to like Colton, but then pulling away because she's still planning to kill herself. So they did a good job there, and like she eventually got help and stuff. So I really liked how it all kind of came together. The leading up to it, I was kind of like, and even when it came together too, I was like, it's not quite my vibe, but it was good. Like, it was a good ending. Does that make sense? It was good. Good. I said good about 10 times now. Oh, and I think what really hits home is she had an old friend from like elementary school or something who had tried to commit suicide and didn't work. But he wants to do it again. And so she tries to talk to him, like thinking kind of that they're like that they understand each other, but she doesn't want him to do it. He doesn't want her to do it, blah, blah, blah. He does end up doing it. And I think, and that also, I feel like it like builds up, and that was one of like the building blocks, which really hit home with her too. So I feel like overall she did a good job of just like taking all these different elements and bringing them together so that it was a lot more realistic. it was a good read. It was not quite the page turner, not that intense, a little bit more like calm, but it was definitely, it was a good read. Oh my gosh, okay. This one, I think this one might be the star of the month. I thought it might be The Fault in Our Stars, but this one is the star of the month for me. It could just be because I've recently read this one, so it's fresher, but we're not going to say that. This is Now Is Everything by Amy Giles. I picked up another book, which will be in next month's reading recap, also by Giles, thinking it was by her. They are completely like opposite types of books, and so I'm stupid, and I realized today that it was not the same author. Anyways, so I will for sure be looking for more books by her because this was fan-freaking-tastic. It was really good. I'm kind of into books that like go between like the past and the present and just kind of like piece things together, and that's how this one was. And it just had a really interesting dynamic. So girl gets into a plane crash and both of her parents are dead. What you don't know is that her sister is not dead, but you think, at least I thought, that her little sister is dead too, and she like kind of did everything for her little sister because her dad was really abusive, like physically and verbally. There we go, physically and verbally abusive, and so she took the brunt of it to try and keep her little sister away from it. As the book goes on, like the dad starts to hone in more on the little sister, and that's what happens. But she like feels so guilty, and so you think she feels guilty because she killed her sister, or the plane crash was her fault and her sister was in it, and then you find out that her sister wasn't in it and her sister is still alive. But then it's which gets you kind of confused. But then I think she's just upset because of everything and from her mom being in there. But whoa, it is just, the dynamic takes you all over the place. But this was really good. Definitely a page turner. You just want to know what happens. You see some different perspectives, which is always really cool. And I feel like it touches on the truth a little bit of sometimes how a system that is supposed to help you, is flawed. Not all the time, because sometimes it works. Like, so they try and call DFACS. Her boyfriend calls DFACS, but the DFACS worker, instead of talking to, and well, one, the dad gets them out of the house, so DFACS can't talk to the kids. And two, instead of the DFACS worker talking to teachers who know her better or who have picked up on these signs, talk to teachers who like don't notice her at all, or who's just like, oh, she gets A's, she's doing great. And so it does touch on that too, like saying like, if you just even think that something seems off with somebody, say something. So I don't know, I really liked it. It's so fantastic. You need to go read it. Go read it. Thank me later. If you have read it, let me know in the comments below and we can chat about it. Reading recap. It's like reading rainbow, Oh man. Star of the month. It was fantastic. I love it. I've said it 50 times now. Go read it. Just go read it because it was so good. Last book of the month is another John Green one, and this was An Abundance of Catherines. I know I'm really behind on the times with The Fault in Our Stars and now this one. I'm catching up, okay? So it's been a while. Don't judge me, friends. And to be really honest, this one wasn't my favorite. It just wasn't. It wasn't bad. It's not bad, but it just wasn't my favorite. Maybe the problem is I keep reading really good ones and then go down to more like mellow or not as dramatic books. It wasn't boring, but it was a little boring. It was a little boring. Towards the back half, I feel like it picked up a lot, but kind of all the way through, I was like, meh. Maybe not meh, a little more than meh, but I just wasn't, I wasn't like up at night and like, I gotta go finish that book. So I do that sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go to bed. I just want to read all night. And I wasn't like that with this one. I was like, I can go to bed. You know what I mean? I can go to bed. I did like Colin, not the other Colin, just Colin. Ended up with Lindsay in the end. Like, that was really nice. It seemed like Lindsay and her mom like worked some things out, which was nice too. It was good. Not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite. It was one heck of a tangent. Probably didn't make any sense, especially if you never read any of these books. I'm gonna put this down before I end up throwing this across the room on accident. But I sure enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Also, what I'll do is on Instagram, make sure you're following me. I will post like on my stories or something the books that I've picked up from the library, or like once I finished a book or something, so you can see what I'm reading and what's going to be in the next reading recap. That way, if you want to, if you're a reader like me, you can keep up. That way, you know what we're talking about next time, and we can chat in the comments below. But yeah, that is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so much fun for me. Be sure to thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell. That way you're notified whenever I post a video. And I will see you next time. I try and be here on Fridays at 6 p.m. EST, which I really feel like I need to change it, but that's a conversation for a different day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye. I feel like I did not tell you what these books were about, but got my feelings out. Got it all out. Laid it all out on the table. If I could do the one eyebrow up thing, I would totally do that right now.